Today we're going to have a look at a pen by that brand that everybody goes completely berserk over. It's TWSBI, and TWSBI has launched a while ago the ECO. And the ECO is, as of yet, the most inexpensive TWSBI pen. TWSBI is a brand that is already quite on the inexpensive end of the scale, I think, for what you get typically. And this is their new budget pen. Fascinating. This was sent to me by Frank from Fonto Plumo. Thank you. And this pen will be given away. Not in this video, but when Gourmet Pens and I do our serious nibbage on it, we will give it away. So keep an eye on my channel for that. Okay, TWSBI. TWSBI, Taiwanese brand known for its simple, effective, inexpensive pens. Interesting few Freudians out there. Now, here we have the box. The box is simple, plastic, no longer that nice, rounded off, hard plastic box, but we are talking here about a $30 pen. So this is definitely in the very affordable end of the spectrum. It has a little sticker saying that you should not be using alcohol on this. I don't know if that's either because it discolors or it dissolves the plastic. But in any case, you shouldn't. You get the cute little bottle that has almost nothing in it, but it is liquid silicone grease. You get the new TWSBI wrench, no longer the metal wrench, but a simple plastic wrench. Does the same job, but as you can see, TWSBI is kind of cutting corners here to make it as inexpensive as they can. And again, at $30, that's not a bad deal at all. Okay, you get nice full color instructions, which I kind of enjoyed. I am not really sure what I'm supposed to make of this. You put a pen in ink, then there is ink on the nib, and then you're not allowed to write with it because it will blot or something. I cannot read these pictures, but in any case, I'm sure there is a system to it. And then at the bottom of the box here you have the parts of the pen and how they all go together. Useful because these pens can be disassembled, and if you lose track of which part goes where, then that's a useful reference. Okay, the pen itself. I'll cover the parts of the pen, I'll tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then I'll do a writing sample. Let's start at the top of the pen. TWSBI used to have these really nice finials on their 530, 540, 580 series, and again here they're going for a lower cost option. So just a little plastic finial with the TWSBI logo, a simple clip, and I like this hexagonal shape of the cap. We have a barrel, and that ends in a piston turning knob. This is a piston filled pen, which is not bad at all for $30, I would say. Uncap it by unscrewing. Nice, won't accidentally pop off the cap. And then you have this section. As you can see, the section is transparent. I like that because it really shows off the feed and the nib right there in the section. They come in a host of nib options. This happens to be the extra fine, but you can also get them in fine, medium, broad. Alright, this turning knob also has that hexagonal shape, and if you want to, you can post the cap. Then it becomes really big and kind of unwieldy, but you can also use this unposted. The section, as you can see, tapers down and then flares out a bit, and then there's a little cap lip right there. Well, nib and feed. I like that TWSBI actually engraves the logo on there. It looks really nice, and I very much appreciate that. Okay, cap, it goes in there securely, so it's a nice tight connection, and there is a little rubber O-ring there, which I'm assuming keeps the cap in place. As I said, it's a piston-filled pen, which means you cannot put cartridges in it. You dip the pen in the ink, you turn this knob, and ink will be drawn up. And of course this is actually clear plastic, but there is a dark blue ink in there. And this is actually a very nice and decent ink capacity. With a little wrench, I'm not going to operate this right now, but you can unscrew the turning knob a bit and then unscrew the whole piston unit, grease it up a bit with the microscopic amount of silicone grease that's in the bottle, and then use it. And that's pretty much all there's to it. Final thing I wanted to say but had not said yet is the clip. as you can see, that's very usable. So that's a very nice size, or tightness, I should say. Okay, what do I like about the pen? What do I not like about the pen? Well, what I like about the pen, this is something that goes more for the whole company, I think. TWSBI is really trying to make affordable pens, and that's really good. I also hear very good things about their customer service. So if parts crack, which has happened a lot with previous incarnations of the TWSBI pens, they will replace the parts, and that's all very nice. I like that. It's attentive. I also like that the pens are affordable. A piston-filled pen, it's not a gold nib, it's just a steel nib, but they write pretty well. The only nibs I've really had issues with are the 1.5mm nibs, which just run dry. The feed is inadequate for that. But this, for example, extra fine, no issues. It will not run dry. I've written a lot with this, and it just keeps going. So all of that's very good. I also found this section to be really quite pleasant. Yes, it's a simple section. There's nothing too fancy going on there, but I really do believe this is pleasant to use. I found this pleasant. It's a bit thin for me, but that's personal preference. It's very smooth, and that makes it very pleasant to hold, but it's not slippery. It actually provides, at least for me, a very good grip, and I think that's really nice. Okay, again, $30. I think you get a very nice package for that, with a good pen, a piston filler, you get the tool to disassemble it for maintenance, and you get a nib that writes and it wrote out of the box. Things I don't like so much. Well, there has been a cracking issue with TWSBI, and this one has not cracked, but I haven't had it for so long, so I don't know if these still crack. I don't know if that has finally been resolved, but in any case, for me, that remains a concern. Now, to be honest, it is a $30 pen, and even if the parts crack, TWSBI will replace them without too much issue, so that's really nice. One issue is that I read on Facebook, TWSBI posted a, to me, slightly cryptic message about you cannot exchange nibs while the pen is inked. It does something with the amount of air in the barrel, and what can happen is that all your ink will just spill out. Well, if you fill a piston pen, any piston pen, then what you should do is ink it up and then expel a few drops of ink and then turning the knob back again. That way you don't overfill the pen, get ink trapped in the feed, and then when you cap it, you can definitely get a leakage. So I don't know, I asked them on their Facebook page if that is the problem they were referring to, and I didn't really understand the answer they provided. So I don't know if it was a design flaw that just makes this pen somehow draw a vacuum under some circumstances, which will then expel your ink. But I have not had any leakage issues, so that may or may not be a flaw, but I have not really had any problems with it. But be careful. If you want to exchange nibs, then don't do it with the inked pen. To be honest, I also think that's common sense. This is a large ink reservoir, so if you're going to play around with that and it spills, there is a big stain in the carpet. Okay, let's give you some measurements, and then we'll go on to the writing sample. The weight, in all, 24 grams. The cap weighs 8 grams and the body 16 grams. The capped length is 138.8 millimeters or 5.46 inches. Uncapped length is 131 millimeters or 5.15 inches, and posted length is 166 millimeters. Barrel diameter is 12.5 millimeters or 0.49 inches. And the section diameter ranges from about 8.8 to 11 millimeters, that's 0.34 to 0.43 inches. Okay, Frank, thanks again for sending me this pen. Again, it will be given away. Keep an eye on the serious nibbage entry for this pen. I think this is all for now. Let's see how it writes. Hope this was useful so far, and I'll see you later. Bye bye. Alright, so here we go with the TWSBI ECO. The nib is extra fine, and the ink is Akamon Royal Blue. I have started to use Akamon Royal Blue because people told me that I should use consistent inks in my reviews. Now people tell me that I always use Akamon Royal Blue. Having said that, let's just continue. You can probably hear the feedback of the nib quite well. The camera microphones always pick that up quite pronounced, but I wouldn't really say this is a scratchy nib. It is definitely hard, it is definitely, well, it definitely gives you some feedback, but it isn't extra fine. And to be honest, as extra fines go, I think this is actually a very decent one. And what I will say is the flow is very good, and as you can see, even as I write quickly here, there is just no skipping, so that's really good. Wetness, well, again, an extra fine of course doesn't lay down an ultra juicy line, and you can see it is not the wettest of pens, but it's definitely not dry. Line variation, well, you can squeeze out some, but I would say this is a fairly rigid nib. I'm really pushing it here, and you feel that it's pretty hard and unyielding as you write with it. Now, if you want to do reverse writing, that is possible, although of course in this case you already are using an extra fine, so it doesn't really make the writing that much finer, and you can see it gets a little bit drier if you do that. Okay, thanks a lot again to Frank from Fonto Plumo for sending this pen over. I hope this was useful, and I'll gladly see you later.